141 miles there. Charge when I get there. Put 80, don't go past 8, no, if I go 80% when I get down there, and will that give me enough to get back if I just put 80% in? No, I'll put 80% in, and then if I need to, I can, there's a charge point here. Oh, sorry, I'm just, I was planning my journey because we're off to the world's first all-electric forecourt in Braintree. It's by Gridserve, and I was just planning my journey because that's what you have to do when you have an electric car. You have to spend half an hour first just charging where you're planning where you're going to charge, etc., and stop off points, and making sure that you don't charge past 80% and don't go below 10%, and it gets slightly confusing, but you do get used to it, and it's the future, of course, isn't it? Unless you actually own one, and then you realise that it's actually not. But if you are new to the channel, then you won't know. I own an electric car, and the reality of these things is a little bit, it's not what we're being sold on television, is it? We're having it pushed down our throats, aren't we? Electric cars, they show you all these shiny cars on TV, on the commercials, and families been in the car going out for the day and putting the prams in the back, etc., and all smiley and everything's sunshine and rosy and it's all wonderful. And you turn on the radio and it's electric car commercials. When was the last time you heard a commercial for a petrol or a diesel car? You haven't, have you? Because they've all been lately. We're having it pushed down our throats. Electric cars, electric car future. And the reality is nothing like what it shows you on the TV commercials. So if you agree with me, do me a favour. It is completely free. Don't worry, I'm not going to try and sell you anything. Just hit the subscribe button down there, and that pushes this video out to the rest of the world, showing the true reality of electric car ownership. Today we're heading down, as I say, to Braintree in Essex. I've been there before. It actually is a really good electric charging forecourt, and if everyone was like that across the UK and across the world, it would be rosy like in the commercials, but it isn't. There's only about 2 or 3 of them at the moment, and we're going to head down there, and I'm test driving another electric car, which will be in a future video, so keep an eye out for that one, my friends. So just hit the subscribe button and let's push it out to the rest of the world. Anyway, let's get in the car because it's a little bit cold, and we've got to get there, and we'll chat a little bit more in the car. So without further ado, my friends, let's go. Right, my friends, well, I haven't got anywhere yet. I can't get out the estate because there's a backlog of cars, because it's 8:58 and you've got all the parents taking the children to school, where, by the way, an electric car would come in useful for small runs like that. However, the majority of cars out there that's just come from school are massive, great 4x4s, and they literally are. I think there was one that I saw with one child in the back because they come past the office window, and there's one 4x4 with one child in the back, and it's a massive, great 4x4. I don't understand it. You literally, is it kind of a status thing where you have to have the biggest SUV that you can, either a Range Rover or whatever, and then you just put one child in the back? Doesn't make any sense. So there you go, that's where EVs would come in quite useful around town. I've never said that EVs don't have a place in the future. What I've said is that they are no good for long distances and for most people, but for things like that, it's ideal, isn't it? Pottering around town and dropping the kids off and going getting your shopping from Aldi or whatever. I suppose the people with Range Rovers go to Waitrose. Anyway, let's get down to business. God, them brake lights are bright. We have got 99% of range here at the moment. We're going to Braintree in Essex to Gridserve, the world's first all-electric forecourt. Now, I went to one the other week in Norwich, and that was a smaller version of it. And I've been to the one in Braintree about a year ago as well. And it's a fantastic forecourt for electric forecourt, and it is exactly how electric forecourts should be. They've got canopies over the top, they've got a place where you can get coffee, etc. It's spot on, and I'm going to test drive an all-electric car. I'm not going to tell you which one. You're going to have to subscribe to the channel and join me in the next video, and you'll see me test driving a car there. I should have brought my beige top and a tank top, etc., and packed some little sandwiches and stuff like that, and changed my name to Percy. But anyway, that's going to be interesting. So there we go. We've got 145 miles to go. It's 9 AM at the moment, 11:50 arrival if we can ever get out of the estate. 2 hours and 50 to go, 99% of battery, and 226 miles of range. So mark all that down. It's charged up overnight, and it cost me to do a full charge at home. It will cost around about, I think the last time I checked it was about 15 or 16 pounds. It differs on what you can what tariff you're on, etc. I believe Octopus Energy have an overnight EV car charging tariff, but you'll have to correct me in the comment section down below. Do your research. I do know that Which actually say that Octopus Energy are the best, so have a look into them. And I'm looking at Octopus Energy when I move in the new year, so there we go. Anyway, if we can get out of here, Range Rover, another 4x4 there, Toyota, massive great Volvo XC90 there. What is it with, why drop your children off in huge 4x4s? I don't understand it. I don't understand it. Anyway, come on, onwards. Oh, well, just as we were moving, the traffic lights come on. Anyway, I have an apology to make because in a video that I made about the evangelists being the obsessive clan that love their electric cars and believe they are the future, I read out a comment from an evangelist who was called Morag, and apparently Morag is a woman's name, a female name. Who knows these days, because you've got to be so careful with people identifying as wheelie bins and jacket potatoes and stuff like that. Anyway, I have had it confirmed by Morag herself. Morag is a woman, and she is an evangelist. She believes that electric cars are the future. So Morag, and go and say hi to Morag in the comments. I will say, by the way, please do be kind. Enjoy yourself in the comment section, have your say, but do be kind. Have a little laugh. I don't mind people calling me names, etc., but you know, just having tongue-in-cheek. But do be kind, because some of the comments get a little abusive. And remember, Morag is a person, and she has feelings. So there we go. So Morag, I do apologize, but what I will say, one of your comments, you said that the electric car is doing to the combustion engine what digital cameras has done to film, and CD had done to vinyl. Well, I'm going to actually correct you there, because if that's the case and you're saying that CDs destroyed vinyl and CDs were the future, they weren't, because CDs weren't the future, were they? They were an interim. They were interim to MP3s and online and streaming services. So that means electric cars are not their future. They're a stepping stone to other fuels and other ways of transport. Or if the powers that be have their say, we won't be going anywhere at all. We'll just be staying within a 15-minute radius. That's controversial, allegedly. And also what you said, what digital cameras have done to 35mm film. Well, digital cameras, nobody really uses them anymore now, do they? They use a phone, etc., which is what I use. So your argument is void, Morag. It's void. And I found out, by the way, that you have an MG. How's that working out for you? Just be careful that it doesn't run away and drive off with you, and because they tend to have a mind of their own, don't they? Where police cars have to stop you and stop your car from running away with you. I'm just saying. So you're pretty obsessive, and you seem very obsessive. You're saying I'm obsessive about saying electric cars are not the future. I've not said that, Morag. What I've said is electric cars have their place for running around town, etc. And you're going to say, I think you'll find that only 79.3% of people actually travel 20 miles from their home, etc. Well, they have their place. But what I will not have is the powers that be pushing electric cars down our throats. You turn the radio on, you turn the TV on, and it's electric cars, and they show you this rosy, bright future of electric cars with families smiling, and they're all laughing and giggling, and they're on their iPads in the back of the car, and everything's beautiful and wonderful, and the sun's shining, and they charge at home because they've got a driveway and they've got a house. They don't live in a flat in London or in Sheffield or in Barnsley. You know, it's all perfect. I've worked in advertising. It's aimed and targeted at you to brainwash you. So I'm here to take that away and show you the reality of electric cars. And that's why I'm here. So please do share this video, and let's educate the people out there and the public what electric cars are really like. And I am having an effect, and I am making a difference, because I have spoken to a motor dealer and somebody in the motor trade, and they have said, you're actually damaging the sales of electric cars. And I said, he said, are you pleased about that? I said, I'm not particularly pleased. I said, I'm pleased if the people who were going to buy an electric car didn't buy one because they found out it didn't suit their needs. And that's what I'm trying to do. Anyway, I'm banging on. And also, people that watch the channel, by the way, I also do food reviews and travel reviews. I will be traveling around again, and I will be doing some food reviews as well. But I'm enjoying doing these electric car videos and educating the public out there. Right, and driving around and seeing a little bit of the UK as well. Come on, onwards. I have to say, when I'm doing the electric car videos, I love reading all the comments, and a lot of comments get withheld, but I let them go. I just release them all. I've just gone, release every comment, let them get them out there, and let's show what the EV community is really like. Apparently, by the way, I am an embarrassment to the EV community. If you saw my last video about well, to be the one before, if you saw my video about the comments section, etc., you'll see, what's that beeping at? It's trying to get me in lane. I'm in the lane. It says drive in the centre of that. I can't drive anymore in the centre. The car's now controlling you instead of you control the car. Anyway, I digress. So I leave all the comments because they're unbelievable, from the EV community, from the evangelists, from their cult. They really are. They cross the line sometimes. So I leave them all. So you can answer them, and I like to see it because people answer them back. But just be kind, because there's a lot of cruelness in the world at the moment. But let's have a bit of a laugh and a bit of a smile, etc., and have a go back, and let's get some conversation going. But there is a line, and a lot of the evangelists cross that line. Anyway, so there we go. And you can answer Morag, like I say, because she actually says I'm the obsessive one, and it just made me laugh. But I'm going to say hi to Morag, and she seems to be, I've got to say, I'm going to take my hat off to you. you're very passionate about your electric car. And she did say, however, because I have the stereotypical evangelist and EV owner, and I've said, you know, they go to church and the counsellors, etc. And apparently, so she said, she was going to church when I did that, when she watched that video, and also I believe she's something to do with the local council as well, or something to do with councils. So I was right. The only thing I got wrong was a car. I thought you'd have had a Tesla or something, but apparently they're too expensive, so you've gone for the MG. Why did you go for the MG though, Morag? I mean, there are other cars like Polestar and what's the other one? Mind you, I tell you what, I know why you didn't go for that one, the Ioniq. Oh, I mean, Morag, come on, you've got to agree with me. That Ioniq looks awful. I mean, it is terrible, isn't it? Let me know in the comment section down below. What's the ugliest electric car on the road? Pop it in that comment section. So, Tesla owners, how do you feel? I'm sure you've got an answer about this one, about your beloved leader, your Jesus, programming your cars to make it look like they get more range than they actually do. How do you feel about that, eh? How do you feel about that in the news? Well, allegedly, I mean, I've just read about it. I don't know whether there's any truth in it. You let me know, Tesla owners. How do you feel? I think they'll probably say, I think you'll find, well, it's actually held up. My range has done really well. In fact, I've actually got more than the actual range that I'm supposed to get. Yeah, they'll always have an answer. They'll have an answer. Anyway, let me know, you Tesla group there, Tesla clan. Anyway, come on. I still haven't had a coffee yet. I'm going to have a coffee. And I'm not charging. Where am I going here? There we go, straight over. Okay, come on, onwards. Oh no, I know I meant to ask you. So I've just had a Belvita, which is a breakfast bar over in the UK. They probably do them all around the world. And I thought to myself, am I turning into an evangelist? Is that what an evangelist would eat for breakfast? But no, they wouldn't. They would have their overnight oats that they've made themselves, that they've put in the fridge. Then they would have honey on it in the morning. Not honey from a tub or anything. Local honey that they have sourced themselves, because they will probably be beekeepers. Some of them actually will be beekeepers. This is the stereotypical evangelist and EV owner. Yeah, 100%. They will be beekeepers, I can tell you. and another name for an evangelist as well, I thought one up. But in fact, somebody actually mentioned it in the comment section. Percy. That would be a name of an EV owner, an evangelist. Percy. And the woman will be called Phyllis as well. There you go, got Percy and Phyllis. That's the EV owners, evangelists. Phyllis is a name, definitely a name for an evangelist. And if you go to their house as well, right, on a Sunday, I can guarantee you, this is the stereotypical EV driver going, oh no, got a Tesla up there. They'll probably give me a scowl when I go by. You go to the house on a Sunday and you can hear, if you go round, right, you'll sit on their sofa, they'll have covers for the arms, like material covers that dangle over, you know, and then you'll sit there and you'll be able to hear the carriage clock ticking. And they'll have mahogany furniture, net curtains, and they'll be sat there. And their charging point outside with their car charging, their MG or whatever, or I don't think they'd have an MG. I don't think Phyllis and Percy would have an MG. I think they'd have an Ioniq, I think, or a Polestar, I think. maybe an MGer to push, and there'd be cat people. I think evangelists, I'm going to say 70% of evangelists are definitely cat people and not dog people. Anyway, come on. Right, I'm going to overtake the Tesla. Oh, I feel nervous. I feel nervous. Don't look. Don't look in the window. Don't look in his window. Don't look in the window. Oh! 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 Oh!
One of us. One of us.
Oh!
One of us.
Oh! 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 Oh dear, I tell you what, since I've been doing these videos of electric cars, I felt really nervous. I felt like a target on my car because they obviously know my number plate, and I felt like they're targeting me. However, there is a flip side to this, and somebody actually mentioned it in the comment section, and I don't know what you actually think about it, but all these negative comments that come from evangelists, some people are saying, some say that they're not real people, that it's actually bots putting the comments there to give a positive feedback on any negativity against electric cars and EVs, because obviously the industry and the powers that be want to get us into electric cars. So all these comments are all programmed and rigged to make it look like there's lots of electric car owners who are really, really happy with their electric cars. Because some of them, it's interesting, you answer them back and then they never answer back. Is there any truth in that? Let me know in the comment section down below. Who knows these days? Who knows? Anything. I wouldn't rule anything out in this day and age. I'll tell you what, take me back to the 1980s. Better days, weren't they? Better times. Some people will argue against that and say not if you go back, but I think in many ways the internet has ruined modern day and ruined what we've got today. Yes, it's helped things out and it's bettered things, but it's also had a negative effect on people. Same with mobile phones, etc. Everybody's on the mobile phones and nobody talks to each other. But anyway, that's by the by. Is there any truth in the fact that these EV community, that a lot of them could be automated bots that just respond with messages to make you think that there are more EV owners than there actually are? Interesting. What's more interesting is there's a car transporter there with Kias on, Sportage. Are they electric? I don't think they're electric, are they? Are they electric? I think I can see an exhaust on one of them. If there's any electric cars on there. Have you bought a car recently? Let me know in the comment section down below, and let me know whether it is an EV that you've bought or a petrol or diesel car. And also let me know as well whether the motor dealer tried to sell you an electric car, because I know for a fact that the motor dealers are trying to upsell you from a petrol or a diesel car and get you into an electric car. They have to do that. So just be aware that if you really don't want an electric car, do not be bullied into having an electric car or an EV by one of these motor dealers. Just say no. So I was just talking to my mate Dave, JB there, on the phone, and I was talking about the stereotypical EV evangelist, and I said, oh, you go to the house, and I said about the carriage clock ticking, you know, they've got the fabric sofa, and he says them covers are definitely crocheted. He said they're definitely crocheted, and they put them on the back as well, so that you don't get any Brill cream on the actual fabric itself. And also when you go to sit down, they move the cushions out the way so that you don't crease the cushions. There's a slight smell of dampness in the air, and a little bit of cat urine as well in the smell of the inside of the house. And they'll come along with a weak cup of tea in a china cup, obviously with a saucer, and a bit of fruit cake that's slightly on the turn, just slightly out of date, definitely from Marks and Spencer's as well. And that's your stereotypical EV driver. He got it bang on. And they've definitely crocheted covers on the sofas as well, because they've got them while they're waiting for the car to charge. They've made them themselves. And the fruit cake that they've got, that they pack in their packed lunch when they're when they're going out for the day, and they're sat there charging charging the car. Right, I've got Dave JB on the phone here. Dave, how you doing?
Very well, how are you? In that blooming milk float again?
In that milk float again? I am, yeah. I mean, I hope you said flipping. You didn't say the swear word, did you?
No, I didn't. No, I don't swear.
Now then, stereotypical EV drivers. You said about the fruit cake and the smell of cat urine in the air, etc., and moving the cushions. But you've actually said what they'd wear. And I never thought about it. You said corduroy trousers.
Yeah, a sports jacket with the golf club emblem.
Yes. And they definitely play golf.
Play golf, and they'd have 2 fountain pens in their pocket. One would be a one you fill up yourself with the quink, and one would be a cartridge pen, just in case. And the wife would be on subscription to People's Friend.
Yeah.
and they play cribbage on a Wednesday afternoon.
You see, it's not just me that knows what the stereotypical EV driver is like. But you've said, though, the thing is, they'd have an EV, but they'd have an old 70s music centre in their house as well.
Yeah, old stereogram they'd have, wouldn't they?
Because they don't want to throw anything away.
No, that's right. Everything is for the greater good.
Everything's for the greater good.
And they would have kept their old car before the electric, because it was a classic. It was something like an Austin 1100, pale blue, with brown vinyl seats.
What kind of electric car though would they have? They wouldn't have a Tesla. That's a clan within themselves.
It would be a Nissan Leaf or a Honda, because a lot of them would have had Honda Jazzers in the old days. It was fossil fuel, wouldn't it? It'd be electric Honda.
Electric Honda, or an MG maybe.
Or an MG, yes. Oh no, I forgot about the MGs. Yeah, the MG. But saying that, the MG being Chinese owned, they make brilliant electric cars. Their petrol cars are rubbish, but their electric cars are meant to be quite good. So I think there's a test needed there, my friend.
Oh, I might have to test an MG. Well, I'm off to test an electric car today down at Gridserve Electric Forecourt in Braintree, the world's first all-electric forecourt. Not sponsored, by the way. And I'm off down there today to test drive an electric car. But what will it be? Well, make sure you hit that subscribe button and subscribe to the channel to find out, because I'm going to give it a thorough going over. There we go.
And don't forget to ring the little bell for notifications.
He's got it right, hasn't he? Come on, onward.
Finally, how many years?
I know. Now then, would you go electric, Dave?
You've got more chance of me growing my hair and wearing a pair of stilettos. No.
Now then, very quickly before you go, I've asked this before, but there's new viewers since then. You drive a lorry for a living.
Mm-hmm.
What about
I do.
what about lorries? Is there any talk about lorries going all electric?
They already are.
What do you
They
mean?
already are. Yeah, Mercedes have just launched a fully electric Actros.
Right.
And Volvo's been in it for a little while. They did smaller ones a few years ago, which I think Tesco were testing.
Yeah.
So they're all coming through. Everything's coming through, but yeah, I mean, obviously it's a bit weird, isn't it? Because you can't charge your car. So how the hell are you going to charge a lorry? You
But
won't have shops to be empty. There'll be nothing in them.
but what's the range? What's the range of an electric lorry?
About 42 yards, I should imagine. If you're talking a 40-odd tonner or a blooming 26 ton or whatever, it's not going to be far, is it? I mean, what's your Porsche weigh? A couple of ton?
Yeah. So I mean, that's going to weigh absolute. It's going to be ridiculous. It's going to be damaging to the road, surely.
No, it's all right. Might fill the potholes in then, eh? No, it's not going to work. Can you imagine going onto a motorway service and you've got 6 Gridserve chargers, others are available, and they're all trying to queue up to charge, and then you've got 4 miles of stationary trucks trying to get in as well. It won't work, will it?
No.
Somebody's not thinking, really. I think this was a Friday night after too many sambucas.
Exactly. It's all about the greater good, and it's all about control, in my opinion. But there we go. I don't know who thinks these up. Whoever's thinking them up, like the government, are not doing it themselves. They're driving around in Range Rovers that have got like V8 engines and stuff. So
yeah, but then again, who would want a Range Rover today? It's not the Range Rover of yesterday, is it? Let's be honest.
no, it's not. But saying that, the Porsche that I'm in is not the Porsche of yesterday either, is it?
Well, no, not really. But I must admit, I can't imagine, all the years I've known you, I can't imagine you without that milk float. Now, that's the sad thing.
I can't afford to get rid of it. Anyway, come on.
All right, my friend.
Stay there, Dave. Onwards, my friends. Right, I'm actually going to pull over at the services here. At 61%, 133 miles of range. I've got 61 miles to go. Where's the services? And I think at this services, I'm not sure, I think they have Ionity. I'm not 100% sure. But if they have got Ionity, then I will charge here, because Ionity are subsidised by Porsche, so I get cheaper charging. Anyway, 61 miles to go, 133 miles of range, 61% left. So we'll head in, get a coffee. I've not had one this morning. We're good for time because my test drive isn't until 1. We're going to get there at 11:48. I've planned my journey. Right, which way is the service station? By the way, another funny thing as well, stereotypical EV drivers, Dave was saying, that they will have a little piece of carpet when they've had the carpet replaced. They'll keep the cut-offs and they'll use them as mats and doormats to wipe your feet on, etc. Definitely. Where are we here? I don't think it is. I don't think they have got Ionity, actually. I'm going to go in here, services. No, I don't think they have Ionity, so we won't be charging here. But we can get a Starbucks. There we go. Let's grab a coffee and then get back on the road again. Right, milk float off. Can't believe it, there's actually a Wendy's there. Great Britain is turning into America. I actually like Wendy's burgers, they're really tasty, but too early for one of them. Starbucks, which is American as well, isn't it? God blimey. I found a use for my EV, a cup holder. Right, milk float on. While I was in there waiting for my coffee, I was reading through some of the comments from the latest EV video that I've done, and I cannot believe the amount of abuse that I am getting, and not just towards myself, towards other people who are commenting in there. It literally is kicking off. The evangelists, they've taken over the asylum, they really have. They're off the tree, unless they are bots or whatever. Anyway, let's go through this. 61% of battery, 135 miles of range, 61 miles to go. So we have got plenty of charge, and we are heading to the world's very first all-electric forecourt in Braintree, which is Gridserve. So we'll have plenty of charges to choose from there, and also coffee shops, etc., and everything. So it is it's really, really nice, actually. It's what every EV forecourt and EV charging station should be like. Anyway, let's hit the road, have a quick sip of my coffee first. There's a question for you: Starbucks, Costa, or do you just, or none of them even? It's not bad, actually. Christmas packaging already in November, 8th of November, and we've got Christmas packaging already. It'll start in about July soon, won't it? There was a guy, by the way, who was coming out. My watch is listening to me. Everything's listening to you these days. There was a guy coming out talking to his other half, and he said, and he got into an EV, actually. It was a BMW EV, and he come out. He's like, I actually prefer oat milk over real milk. And I thought, yep, stereotypical. Come on, onwards. You know, there's so many things in the news about electric cars, etc. You've got a lot of negativity coming from certain newspapers and certain press organisations, and a lot of positivity coming from other places and other TV channels, etc. And also YouTube channels as well. And as I've said before, a lot of them you don't know what to believe, because a lot of them are paid sponsors. They have paid sponsors, so they have to say what their sponsors tell them to, or within a contract. Now, I've had sponsors before, nothing to do with electric cars. I've got one at the moment who wants to sponsor me, which is a VPN network, which is nothing to do with electric cars again. So but when you've got somebody who sponsors you specifically for electric cars, say an electric car manufacturer, etc., then you can't speak negative of that car, or of EVs in general, really, because they give you a contract to sign. And I know exactly, because like I'm having to sign one at the moment for a VPN, so you can't say anything about other VPNs, etc. You can't, you know, there's a list of stuff that you have to adhere to, which is fair enough, but it stops you speaking the truth in many ways with things like cars and motors and stuff. That's why I refuse to be. There was a car company who actually wanted to give me an electric car, a smaller electric car, to take on test and to keep for a while, and I just said no, basically, because how can you be honest about that car? If it was terrible, or it was not reliable, or it was made cheaply, or there was negative things about it, if they're loaning you the car and they're sponsoring you for it and they're paying you to do, because they wanted to pay me to do the review, if you're paid to do that review, you cannot give an honest review on it. And that's what gets me. Look up at, and I'm not saying all of them are, but just be very careful with what you watch on electric cars, because a lot of them are sponsored, a lot of them are not their cars, and they are bound by a contract to say what they've got to say. There's certain things they can say. This car's mine, I can say what I like about it. It's financed, it's on finance, and I've lost a lot of money on it, and I've already said I love the way it drives. Fantastic car. It's soulless though. It's boring really. It handles well, but it's boring. So I can say what I want about it. Anyway, I was getting to the point here. There's a lot of news stories about cars setting on fire, etc., and Teslas setting on fire, etc., and things like that. And then you get the Tesla people, I think you'll find that's untrue, etc. Well, I didn't know this, but Dave, who he was speaking to on the phone there earlier on, is a lorry driver, and he was in Leicester earlier on this year, and I didn't know he'd got these photographs, and he sent them me. And these are pictures now that I'm putting on screen of a Tesla that that caught fire over in Leicester. So, you know, I thought to myself, well, I've never actually seen really a Tesla on fire personally, but there we go. So that's actual photos that Dave has taken. He says they're his copyright, he's taken them, and that's a Tesla that's burnt out. Now, I know you will say that there's diesel cars and etc. setting on fire as well. In fact, as of late, since electric cars have come out, diesel cars seem to be setting fire even more, don't they? Like, there's more diesel car fires since electric cars have come out than ever before. I wonder why that is. I'm not saying a word. You make your own mind up. Pop it in the comment section down below. Onwards, my friends. These things are, I have to say, I don't feel overly safe sat on all these batteries. That's the services that I should have got off at. Cambridge services. They have Ionity, which is subsidised. However, I'm not going to stop there now. I may stop on the way back if I need a little surge. Yeah, so they've got Ionity. Ionity, I always used to think was really good for the charging network. It's because it's cheaper for this car. Porsche have some kind of deal on with them, which is odd, because if I go to Porsche and charge up there, it costs me more. But if I charge at Ionity, it costs me way less per kilowatt. I think the most expensive one that I've experienced so far is InstaVolt. They're astronomical. It's unbelievable. It really is. And especially with the VAT on top as well, it just really, it really tops it out. It makes it way more expensive than driving around using petrol or diesel. Way more expensive. I can tell you that from my experience. And if you are watching this video, by the way, and you're thinking about buying an electric car, I'm going to tell you, if you do, it will probably be the biggest mistake of your life, unless you're going to run around town and just go locally, etc. It's not been a pleasurable experience. Luckily for me, when I'm with my family up in Leeds with Sarah, Harriet and James, we have Sarah's car, which is a VW Golf diesel. We drive around in that, and I fill it up with diesel. It gets about 600 and odd miles, sometimes a little bit more. We just drive around in that, and we came down south in it. Everywhere we go, we went up to the Lake District the other week, we went up in Sarah's car. We never go anywhere in this car. I've got 4 seats, and Sarah won't actually get in it anymore, even if we go out on our own, because the last time that she came in it, I don't know whether anyone's experienced this, she said it makes me feel sick. And she says I am a fantastic driver. She said that's one of the only things she compliments me on, because my dad was a police patrol car driver and he taught me. But she said, I can't drive with you in that car. And I said, why? She said, it just makes me feel sick. The fact that it's electric, there's no noise, and the way the motion, how it actually drives and the torque, she said, makes her feel sick. She gets car sick in electric cars. Is that something that you've experienced? I personally haven't. Doesn't make me feel sick, but interestingly enough, I've had a couple of other people in the car as well who said the same thing. One of my daughters says makes me feel ill, which is, it's strange, isn't it? I wonder why. Another quick question for you. So, Phyllis, right? Percy and Phyllis, the evangelists who are out for the day in their MG electric car. They've gone out for the day, they've packed their own sandwiches, etc. And Phyllis is there in the passenger seat with her handbag on her lap. What is in Phyllis's handbag, right? I'm going to start you off, okay? I'm going to say she's definitely got a needle and thread in there, and also a packet of Werther's Original in there. Actually, probably not the packet. Maybe a bag of Werther's Original, not a packet. Should have a bag of them. So let me know in that. Do you know what? I'm getting really nervous these days, in case any electric evangelists come up at the side of me. I feel like a target. So what would Phyllis have in her handbag? Pop it in the comment section down below. And Percy, in his pocket, would have a packet of Fisherman's Friends, because being evangelists and the evangelic couple, they like to suck on a fisherman's friend. Easy, it's a family channel. I meant because they take time and they last long while you're charging your car. I don't know what you meant. It's onwards. Oh, I can't take you lot anywhere. Right, so 39% of battery, 82 miles left of range, 17 miles to go in 22 minutes, so we'll be there in 22 minutes time. Interestingly enough, while I'm in this traffic jam here for roadworks, there seems to be roadworks everywhere, doesn't there? It's just crazy. While they're doing all these roads, they should fit like a little, like they do on a scale electric track, and we'll just all be on these little, you could charge up your car as you go along. I've got Heart 80s on here because I'm a bit of an 80s child, grew up in the 80s, born in the 60s though, I will admit, only just caught the 60s. The adverts that was on the radio there was 3 adverts, right? 2 adverts in this commercial break and 1 advert in the last commercial break for electric cars. Again, it's like they're having them shoved down our throats. It's brainwashing us. And even if you're not listening to the adverts, it's going in there subliminally, getting you to think that you need an electric car. And then when you get into the motor dealers, and the motor dealers actually try and sell you an electric car and upsell you, do me a favour, do not listen to them. I have an electric car. It is not fit for purpose unless you're running to the shops. Don't listen to them. Please do not listen to the motor dealers and the motor industry. Just buy what car suits your needs. Don't listen to them. And I'm not saying don't buy an electric car. I'm saying don't listen to them and do your research, because you could end up like me with a car that doesn't fit your needs. Because if you have a family, they really are they're not fit for purpose. I mean, I've 4 seats. They've never sat in the back of them. I can't take my kids out in them. It's mental, absolute madness. I don't know where on earth this world's going at the moment. Is your country, I know we've got Australia watching as well, are all the countries the same? I mean, America's never going to go all electric, be honest, are they? Where am I going here? A120, that's it. Colchester and Stansted, there we go. America's never going to go all electric. My mate over in the States, Big Dave, if you're watching, I know he watches, he's got, and he's been on the videos, he's got a massive truck, and they love their gas engines and their big cars and their thirsty cars, etc. They're never going to go all electric. It's madness, honestly. It's beyond a joke. Anyway, let's get to the first all electric forecourt in the world, Gridserve. I have to say, by the way, it's peeing it down, and if we have to go all electric, and we're made to, and we all follow like sheep, they need to be like this, because there's a canopy over it. So I'm thinking, oh, it's fine, I'll be dry while I'm charging my car. I don't know where the other electric charging companies, I don't know where the brains are. It's like, just put canopies over the top, do it properly like Gridserve are doing it. It's nuts. Hey, so I switched my TV on the other day in my office, and I popped that on while I was doing the graphics on one of my thumbnails for the videos, and Loose Women was on. Right, I was getting in touch with my feminine side. Oh, a pole star there. I was getting in touch with my feminine side, and they had a question on there, and I thought, that's an odd question, isn't it? It says, do you have a favourite service station? Now, I thought to myself, what a daft question, but then I thought, actually, when I was a kid, I used to enjoy going to service stations with my parents. We'd go up to the Lake District, or we'd go on journeys, etc. And service stations were different back then, because it wasn't all McDonald's and Burger King and Starbucks and Costa. You'd actually have the service station like Watford Gap, for instance, which apparently they are going to knock down, and they're going to make way for an all-electric kind of service station thing where you can go and charge your car, etc. And then there's been people who's opposing against it. They're having people sign stuff to say, no, we don't want it, we don't want it. We want to keep what we've got, because that service station, correct me if I'm wrong, it's got some connection with the Beatles and Jimi Hendrix or something. I think Jimi Hendrix thought it was a nightclub, mistook it for a nightclub or something, and there was something to do with the Beatles as well. But yeah, so I thought to myself, what a daft question. Does people have a favourite service station? And then I thought, well, actually, I do. Fortin services up in the north. I know this is nothing really to do with electric cars, but Fortin services up in the north on the M6, is it? It's like a mushroom service. I used to call it the mushroom service station. It's my favourite because it reminds me of when I used to go to the lakes with my mum and dad. And I've always wanted, if anybody works there, I want to go to the top of it, because it's now closed off. You can't go to the top of it. And I've seen a YouTube video of somebody going around the top of it. When it first opened, apparently the restaurant was up there, but then for some reason it was closed. I don't know why they closed it, and they only use the base of it now, and apparently up there is just, it's basically just a room full of junk and old chairs, etc. But I'd love to go and look around it. So if you work for Fortin Services, let me know. I'd love to do a video and go around it myself and have a look. I'm just intrigued. Do you have a favourite service station? Let me know in that comment section down below. If you're an EV user, you'll have probably visited quite a few on your travels. In fact, as an EV owner now, I go to a lot of service stations to charge up when I'm going around, and I find myself looking at all that garbage in the shops, you know, at service stations that they have the glasses that are orange or yellow that you put on that reduces night lights or whatever, and glare, and you just leave them in your car and you never use them, and other things what's other useless things that they sell in service stations? I don't know, soft toys with names on, and We've done driving glasses. There's Cadbury's chocolate with people's names on it, etc. Think of it, other things, blankets as well, that you can buy in there. It's just, or air fresheners. Tell me other naff stuff that you can buy in a service station. Right, here we are, Gridserve, electric forecourt. We've got Teslas around here. Why do I feel totally uneasy about being here around all these evangelists? We've got Teslas there. Now, you can actually lease cars off these people. So if you want to lease a car, you can go onto their website. Again, I'm not sponsored, but you can go on, you can test drive the cars for free. And you can lease electric cars from Gridserve. They actually lease them, different ones. They do Teslas, they do Polestars, they do BMWs. There's quite a few on there, so there we go. Right, let's pull up. I don't know whether they're all taken up actually. I might have to, oh no, I think there's one there we go. Right, milk float off. So we are at, I've got 62 miles of range, 30% of battery left. It's 12:30. So let's go and get it charged up, see how much it is, etc. And have a quick look around. Come on, onwards. Right, here I am. Got a canopy over me as well, so which is solar apparently as well. So soaks in all of the British sun that we have. Oh, anyway, moving swiftly on from that one. Right, let's get it plugged in. So here we go. Should be relatively straightforward. Okay, let's have a look. I think it's 60 odd p per kilowatt. Please present your payment method. So we'll go Apple Pay, and we'll just do that. Present card, should tell me per kilowatt what it is. Charger authorization successful. Preparing to charge. We're connecting your vehicle now. I think it is 60 odd p per kilowatt. Maybe I should take my pants down now. Preparing to charge. This is the bit where you're like, ooh, will it or won't it? Yes, 69p per kilowatt. Blimey, I wonder whether you get Vaseline with that. Or lubrication. There we go, 30%. We're getting 141 kilowatts. 141 kilowatts, okay. 30%, and it's 12:35. So we'll have a quick look round and then we'll see how it goes. Lots of different cars here then. The wipers are on this one. It keeps coming on. I don't know. Strange. I don't know what this one is. It's just got like a big exclamation mark. Then you've got your Teslas here as well. And you've got your Genesis here as well. I've never heard of the Genesis one. They're all kind of new, aren't they? Lots of different new manufacturers and motor dealers coming out with electric cars. I think we've got an orange MG over here. Ooh, an MG. Remember when MGs used to be good? You used to have a little MG Sport. Used to have style and a bit of class. Now they look like, oh, I don't even know what they look like. I mean, that looks awful. I'd have to have blacked out windows. mean, what's this? What's this ledge at the back? Is that to put your Costa coffee on? That's terrible. What is this? It's like a boy racer kit that's added onto it. That has got to be one of the most ugliest cars. And why make it orange? If you're going to make a car that's ugly, don't make it orange so that you stand out. Look at all this greenery here, look. Hey, look at that. Makes it feel environmentally friendly, doesn't it? I think it needs water. Well, it doesn't need watering, does it? It's raining. What's this one then? A Vauxhall Mocha. A Vauxhall Mocha. Even the names are just crap, aren't they? What's the MG name? What's the name of the MG, that orange one? MG4 electric. MG4. Not very inspiring really, that is it. I suppose it's not that bad though, is it? I mean, Taycan, even Porsche. The Porsche tin can, or Taycans. The names, where did they get them from? Right, so we've got the Polestar 2 here, look. Now this one, Jeff Buys Cars, actually said he didn't mind. He says because it's designed to look like an electric car, I guess, or whatever. I'm not sure is that what he said? Jeff, pop it in the comment section down below, but you quite like this one. I'm not sure. It looks very American though, doesn't it? Looks very American, very boxy. Is it something to do with Volvo as well? I'm not sure. You'll have to let me know in the comment section down below. But Polestar, it's the name, isn't it? Polestar. I'm not sure. It sounds like some kind, I don't know what it sounds like. It's just weird, isn't it? Polestar. Anyway, I don't know. It's just odd. I mean, look, do you find that attractive? It just doesn't look that attractive to me. It just looks boxy. I don't know. I don't know. What do you reckon? It just looks a bit boxy, doesn't it? It does look a bit Volvo-y, I have to say. Right, let's have a look what mine's doing. Oh wow, okay, 73% we're at. It's now 5 to 1. We've been charging 17 minutes. So fairly fast, and we're getting 103 kilowatts, 69p per kilowatt though. I wonder whether they sell Vaseline in there. Let's have a quick look inside. Nice little wander upstairs. This is the biggest one actually. It's the first one at the world's first all-electric forecourt, and going upstairs here. I've been here before. It's quite nice actually. What is this one? It looks a bit mini-esque, doesn't it, with the exclamation mark? I don't know why I'm finding it quite cute, but am I actually saying that? think it's called an Aura, it says on the back. I have to say, I've said about electric cars before being great for just around town, and that's the kind of car really that you want, just a little car for pottering around to the shops, etc. It's quite, I can't believe I'm saying it's quite cute actually. I think that if I was going to have a smaller car, it would be the Mini. If it was going to be a small electric car, it would be the Mini. I know its range is not great, but as I've said, around town and stuff, that's what these are ideal for, not on long journeys. And I like the Mini. That's the coolest one. That would be the one that I go for if I went for a little run around town car that was electric. I'd go for the Mini. So the bikes that are behind me here actually put power back into the grid. Wonder whether they pay you for that though, and take it off your bill. Look, I mean the toilets in here, there's taps in here, look, your toilet. You've even got a shower. You can have a shower while you're charging your car. That's absolutely mad, isn't it? You can have a shower while you're charging your car. I guess you're paying for it. You can wash that Vaseline off. Come on. Vaseline. Interesting. Right, okay, so I'm back at my car. It's finished charging at 100%, but I've got to go and have a look at the digital receipt there to try and get how much it cost me, because it's not told me again, which is the only thing, the downside really with Gridserve, is it doesn't tell you exactly how much you've spent. I've said that before. It's a little annoying, so I don't know. I've got the Vaseline at the ready though, I'm sure at 69p per kilowatt. If I can find it out on screen, I'll put it on screen here. If I can't, then I'll put it in the comment section and pin it in the comment section. But there you go, Gridserve, all-electric forecourt, the first all-electric forecourt in the world. I will say the lady in M&S Food though, by the way, she came over and said to me, are you filming? I said, yeah. She's not allowed to film in here. I said, oh right. And I said, why not? She said, we're not part of Gridserve, you know. I said, oh, all right then. I said, I'm just filming the Vaseline. She says, you can't film the Vaseline. I thought, where this Vaseline is going in a minute. Anyway, on my lips. Anyway, on that bombshell, I hope you enjoyed the video. Do just hit the thumbs up. Also, share it on social media. Push it out there. And let's show people what the world of electric cars is really like. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Get this thing out. Good grief. Oh, and don't miss the next one where I test drive an electric car. That's interesting. Which one is it though? Is it a Tesla? Could be. No. Is it? No. What is it? We'll do it like the remember Hong Kong Fooey. Is it a Tesla? No. Is it a? Well, we're not going there. I'm not giving any secrets away. Go on. See you later.